So let's just take a moment to find our breath. If you just choose a comfortable position, sit tall, tuck the chin in a little bit, finding length at the back of the neck. And then take a full inhale through the nose. A long drawn out sigh through the mouth. Take the chin down towards the chest, blinking the eyes open and releasing arms to the sides. We're going to reach them up and look towards the hands as they go up. Turn the palms to face down and chin towards chest as you come down. Good. Breathing in, rising back up, looking. Wonderful. And coming back down. So we're going to try and keep our arms straight wherever possible. You can start bringing the hands closer together. Good. Lovely. Then we're going to come up just to halfway and take our arms into your L shape. So it's quite strong. We're going to squeeze between our shoulders, spread your fingers wide, get some energy there, and then twist one side to the other. You are trying to find some strength underneath each shoulder blade to drive the movement round. So we're not going to use pace, just focusing on strength rather than momentum. Wonderful. And then let's go for a little bit of speed just to warm up either side of the spine. Fantastic. And then if we release our hands down onto our knees, you're going to pull them up towards you as you squeeze between the shoulders. Sit tall, face to the sky. Exhaling, coming into the opposite shape, curling in on yourself like a ball. Breathing in, coming back up. Breathing out, rounding. And one more time. Lovely. Let's do two with our arms. Open them out wide, squeeze between your shoulder blades. Good. Arms up overhead, chin to chest, dive forwards. Breathing in, open out again. Lovely. Breathing out, up and over. And then all the way tall. Drop one hand over to the side and reach up and over, side stretch. Good. Let's just tuck the chin in and look underneath the arm. So you can pull your arm a little further back behind you. And then come into that kind of shoulder play where we just twist and rotate the arm, moving it in different directions. Yeah, you can circle, you can straighten, you can bow all the way forwards and then open out. Fantastic. And then let's spring over and do the same on the other side. So just starting with the stretch to begin with, easing ourselves in, looking underneath the arm. And then again, let's find some movement with our good, lots of nice fluid shapes and movements. Lovely. And then arriving up to sit. Good. Okay, so if we then just spin around, we'll do our all fours position. And we're going to do our cat-cow. So if you spread your fingers wide, knees under hips, press down through the tops of the feet and keep the feet fairly active there. We'll come straight to our cat-cows, but we're going to make it a nice sort of rolling one. So you're going to push back and rock forwards in each position. And you just slowly build the movement up a little bit, exploring into the spine, into the hips, wherever else you feel it. Again, just gently rocking as you do these. And you'll get the benefit of warming up the wrists as you do it this way too. Wonderful. Then neutralize your spine. Take your knees fairly wide and bring the big toes together. You'll press into one hand, open up with the opposite arm. Good. And here we're trying not to just be passive when we get to the top. We want to squeeze our shoulders to really draw and rotate the arm around. Then go to thread the arm underneath. Good. You're going to press, rise back up, opening out. Then go under. Take it one more time. Then come up, and we'll do it on the other side before we settle. So you're going to open the other arm out. Squeeze between the shoulder, really get that activation. Then go to thread under. Press and rise. Threading through. Press and rise. Threading through. Good. If we settle on this side now, taking the head down, just really shove the shoulder kind of right underneath, and you can make it different by lifting the top arm and then tucking the hand behind you. You're going to keep pulling around with your front shoulder. Good. And you want to make sure that your face feels fairly relaxed here. That there's not too much pressure in the neck or the jaw. That's it. And then we can explore a twist. So you're going to take your hand that's bent now up towards you, hands together, and see if you can push firmly through the top hand. So you're essentially in prayer while resting on the shoulder or the side of the arm. Excellent. Good. Then if you just press into that top hand, you can rise back up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So if you take the hand down again, open out and go to thread under, but I'm just going to repeat the same side so that it's clear, but you'll face the other way. Lovely. You can lift the top arm, tuck it behind you towards the lower back and pull around with the top shoulder. Just enjoying a few breaths here, staying as relaxed as you can. And again, let's explore those prayer hands, connecting the hands together, pressing firmly through the top, getting more rotation through the upper back. And again, press down to rise back. Lovely. Okay, so bring your knees a little closer together, but they're still wider than knee width. And we're going to explore taking our elbows further than our shoulders with our bum staying directly over the knees. Then you can lift your bottom up, drop your chest down, and pull the hands back towards the head, stretching into the chest, upper arms, shoulders. Press down into your elbows, take your hands down and tuck under through your toes. You're going to push to downward facing dog. Enjoy a nice wriggle out through the legs and the hips side to side. Wonderful. Walk your feet up towards the middle of the mat. Hands back towards the feet now, bending the knees. Then you're going to come into your forward fold. Lovely. Try to keep your elbows in the same line as your shoulders. So if you're a little bit kind of drawing the elbows towards the legs, it's going to not stretch as much. So if you just allow your arms to drift forwards towards the head. Yeah, lovely. And maybe we're swaying a bit side to side. Wonderful. Now press against your shins, lengthen yourself up halfway. And then hold the backs of your legs and draw the head down. Pressing again, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now just using your fingertips for support, take your feet directly next to each other if they aren't already, and crouch down into a little tiptoe position. Good. So we're going to try and balance here on our toes as we take our hands to the heart and just lifting our chest a little. What you want to avoid is the ankles kind of swaying in and out, so you can keep them in line. And then we're going to go to rotate. So you're gluing your knees together. You can take the opposite elbow around the knee. Yeah, press against it. And then if you balance, look up over your shoulder, your arm. Amazing. Keeping the breath steady. Returning back to the center. Yeah, nicely balanced. And then let's see if we can do the same on the other side. Returning back. Now we're going to press into our feet, but keep the bend in the legs. So you're going to cross around and come into this variation. Yeah, lovely. So if you can, move the thighs out of the way, get a tighter grip, and then press again. Lovely. And just see how far you can lengthen your head forwards. If you wish to explore, maybe you take one hand down, the other hand up, and look up towards the top hand. Lovely. Taking the hands together. Good, keeping your seat low. We come through the center, and then we can do the same on the other side. Good, getting the rotation. Maybe encouraging the thigh out of the way here. And if you wish, lowering one arm and reaching up through the other. Excellent. And then just come into a forward fold from there. Enjoy a couple of breaths. Just allowing your body to unwind from its twist. Maybe paddling out with the legs if that feels good. And then we begin to uncurl, rising all the way to stand. Taking the shoulders back and down. And then slowly lifting the head too. Excellent. Step to the top end of your mat. And then we're going to flow a little bit and explore some more twists. Breathing in, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down, head down. Breathing in, lift, lengthen. Breathing out, hands to the floor. Keep the foot that's closest to me at the front and step back with the back leg. Excellent, it worked. Lost my words, but it worked. I'm going to press down into the opposite hand and twist to face towards your front knee now. Good, and maybe you just kind of work with sinking the hips a little lower or rising and then sinking down. Good, we'll stretch out our hip a little bit. If you can, roll to the outside edge of your foot, just gently guiding the knee away. And then trying not to kind of hold the upper body in this shape. Let's think forwards and working with a nice downward energy. Lovely. Then we can press down through our foot. Make sure you're stable. And then rise up into your low lunge, tucking under through your tailbone. Then sinking down with the hips. Good. You want your knee not to overshoot the ankle for this one, just for balance, because we're going to hold in our twist. So the hands are going to come to the heart. We're taking the opposite elbow again around the knee. Press, 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 and get your rotation. Now, you should be a little more balanced than before, so do try and look up over your shoulder. Wonderful. Keep sinking hips low. And then slowly come back. Release the hands down. Step back. High plank pose. Good. Lower down knees. Tops of toes. And chest to the floor. Squeeze between your shoulder blades as you peel up. And then breathing out, pushing all the way back, downward facing dog. So if you just wiggle yourself around so that you face the other way, it's quite a nice movement to explore from downward facing. And then you're going to step the opposite foot forwards. So we're coming to the other side. Good. So again, you're sinking the hip low. You're going to reach up through the top hands, spreading fingers wide, facing towards your front leg. Perhaps you explore those pulse movements again, just trying to lower the hips up and down a little bit. Good. Then releasing the hand down onto the knee, roll to the outside edge of your foot and sink low and move the heart forwards. Wonderful. So again, let's just make sure the knee doesn't overshoot the ankle. As we spread our toes wide, rise up, tuck under through the tailbone, arms come up, shoulders slide down the back a little, and sinking hips low. Good. Hands to heart, opposite elbow goes around the knee, press, rotate, and let's see if we can again look up over our shoulder. Wonderful. Let's slowly release our hands down. Tuck under through the back toe. This time shift straight to downward facing. Maybe just rising up and down a few times, balls of feet to heels. Wonderful. And then walking the feet all the way up again towards the hands. Hands back towards the feet, bending the knees, let the head sink down. Press against your shins. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Good. One more, rise. And fold. Then a gentle bend into your legs, helping you rise to stand. Taking shoulders back and down, lifting the head. And releasing there. Good. Okay, so we're going to get a bit creative with props. You can use the wall, you can use a chair, a table, whatever you've got access to for your half moon pose. So I'm going to use the edge of my bed in a minute. So you can either just spread your toes and rest your bum cheek on a wall and come down this way, thinking about trying to keep yourself as aligned as possible. So you want to be really flat, your bottom foot would point forwards. Or you take your prop towards a table and use that. So the whole idea is that we're opening across the hip and then extending up through the top arm. Yeah, good. See if you can get both shoulders aligned on the wall if you're using one. Maybe you glance up towards the thumb. Lovely, keeping the breath nice and strong. Lovely, and then slowly rise all the way back up. Good, and we'll do it on the other side. So again, whatever you're using, just make sure your foot is pointing towards the front, and then we'll come down. Trying to keep as much of your hips on the wall as possible. Straighten out that back leg and flexing the toes. Lovely. And then again, rising slowly to stand. Wonderful. And then we're just going to come down to sit. So we're going to do a couple of seated twists just to finish off. So nice twisty practice today. Good. So the simplest one you can do is if you just take your hand around the opposite knee, hand behind, sit tall. What I like to do is wedge the upper arm into my upper back to keep the chest lifted. Pull quite firmly on this front knee and get your rotation. Good. And return through the center. We'll do the same on the other side. So again, find that height through the heart and then really pulling. Lovely. Good. Returning to the center. Wonderful. So if we open one leg out, bring the heel in towards you. Good. So we're going to approach this in two ways. So the first one is if you just frame around your leg, and then we're going to come down. It's a very light twist because it's kind of on the lower back. If you take the hand that's kind of floating on the inside space around the outside edge of your foot or leg, and then gently pull as you guide yourself a little lower, you should feel more of a stretch to the lower back. Rise back up, take that hand now behind you and rotate, and the other hand comes on the inside of the leg, and see if you can just come down that way. Good, but we're going to maintain the arm behind us. So you can keep lifting the chest here. Rise back up, bringing your extended leg over the top of the bent one, or you can always straighten out the bottom leg if it's too strong. Both sit bones down, hug the knee in, and then look over towards the direction your leg was just at. Lovely. Now releasing out, we'll do the same on the other side to finish off. So extend the opposite leg, heel in towards you. Good, frame around your thigh, and then start creeping down. Inside arm goes around the outside of foot or leg, and you gently pull on it to help guide you lower, keeping the sit bones firmly rooted to the floor. Release that hand behind you. Take the other arm against the leg and then keep pulling around, around, around. Open the shoulder. Lovely. And breathing here. Rising up tall, bringing the foot over the top of the bent leg, making space for your bottom to come down. Hug the knee in, rise tall, look over your shoulder. Good, and then just unwinding, crossing the legs. We'll rest our hands on our knees, close eyes, and take 5 breaths to close. When when you finished your 5, bowing the head, blinking the eyes open, and we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you soon.